we cannot do this segment without mentioning the passing of Tommy Rogers, who passed last week. Give me a good story, if you have any, from the battles between the Midnight Express and the Fantastics all around these parts.
Well, gosh, my favorite one I just told on my podcast, but I'm going to assume that we have a slightly different audience, and I'm going to tell it anyway because it goes to show you Tommy was a great once again, a great young athlete. He was in tremendous condition. The matches that the Midnight Express and the Fantastics had, athletically for the time were off the charts. Tommy was a great guy personally to work with, and of course I'd known Bobby Fulton, has been one of my friends in wrestling since I was a teenager. So we had a great time, and when you have a personal bond with somebody, then you trust them a little bit more than you normally would, the average Joe. Well, one night at the first Clash of Champions at the Greensboro Coliseum, we faced the Fantastics, and it was a wild brawl with furniture and things being thrown at each other. And at one point, Bobby Eaton grabbed Tommy Rogers and gave him a bulldog headlock, and boom, and smashed his face on a table that was collapsed on the floor at ringside. And when Bobby landed, his hip caused the table to flip up and smack Tommy in the side of the head, and basically Bobby throws Tommy back in the ring, and Stan grabs him, and Tommy's eyes were woozy, and Stan said, "Are you all right?" And Tommy said, "I'm blind." And what had happened was the blow had swelled his eye up so quickly it pressed on his optic nerve, and he couldn't see. And so, Stan, we're on national television, and there's 6,000 people in the Coliseum, and there's a million people watching this on TV. So Stan says, "Okay," and he shoots Tommy off to the ropes for the trademark Midnight Express drop toe hold elbow drop. But since he was blind, Stan never let go of him. He walked him all the way to the ropes and all the way back. Drops him with the drop toe hold. Bobby drops an elbow on the back of his head, which rattled his cage again. And if you go back and watch that on YouTube or on the network that they have these days, it's the only case in history of a blind man actually continuing a wrestling match on national television.